Good afternoon, everybody. I am Ryan with Forecast Consoles. Not your usual conversation piece here for a technology show. We make furniture, specifically control room furniture. I have a presentation that my team put together. I have no idea what's in this. Usually it's just pictures of my cat. So this is sort of a brief history of what we did. We started back in the day doing sort of like tape editing and furniture for kind of super custom because there was no standards. And then as there was standards, we kind of followed along with those. And then anyway, this is a bunch of marketing stuff that you guys don't care about. Here's the honest truth. We design furniture for production spaces based on what operators' needs are, right? What are they touching? What are they interacting with? What do they want to see? So I think a lot of this is just going to be sort of stuff talking about what we do and fancy pictures of fancy desks and talking about standards. These are mostly sports stadiums, and this is some cool logo stuff we do. But really, I want to take this as an opportunity to ask a quick question. How many of you in here either design production spaces or work in production spaces, like where there's desks and tons of electronics? Okay, cool. How many of you feel like you hate it because it's way too small and there's too much gear to fit in the space? Yes. Okay, great. So this is a preamble to a larger talk that I'm having with a whole bunch of architects, so I get to bust their chops, and it's going to be clickbait titled, This Secret That Your Architect Doesn't Want You to Know. And that is, you should space plan your spaces before you hand over your building to an architect. If you have the opportunity to do so, you absolutely should. Myself, our competitors, and most of the technical furniture manufacturers in this industry will work with you on a design basis, either through CAD blocks or room design or whatever. Take advantage of that. Think about how much gear, how many operators, and how much stuff you need to put in your space. I can't tell you how many times we're going in and it's like, yeah, we need, X number of operators and monitors and this gear and that gear, and the room is physically too small for it. And then you create an environment where it's like, even if it fits in the room, now you can't get behind it to service your monitor wall or service your desk or anything like that. Or you wind up using my least favorite thing in the world, which is a keyboard tray, right? You got too many keyboards, too many mice. So what do? You throw keyboard trays out there and all people do is smash their knees into them. They're uncomfortable to type at. All that good stuff. So I honestly, it's a public service announcement. Take this opportunity, leverage myself and my team or any of our competitors who also do free design services for space planning. But yeah, absolutely. If you're already working with an integrator, ask your integrator who do they work with for furniture. They might work with a couple of people. Ask them to help do space planning and then hand that over to your architect if you have that luxury. Because you will make everyone's lives easier in the future. Also, if you don't have the luxury of having a new building and an architect and are just looking to fight for space in general, again, reach out to somebody to help you design the room, because almost all of us offer it as a free service, and we can help you avoid some of the challenges of trying to fit way too much gear into a typically far too small space, unless you have the luxury of being somewhere where real estate is cheap and you have all the space in the world. But I mean, given the fact we're in San Francisco and most of our clients are in similar real estate environments, it is not as easy to just make the room bigger. With that, I'll say, is there any questions about control room furniture, thinking about control room design and layout? Anything like that? Nope. Sweet. This was super easy. To be honest, this was the cheapest sponsorship I could get to come and hang out with a bunch of friends. So anyway, Marty, SVG, thank you guys. SVG is also an awesome organization. I'm just going to plug them. They do a ton of stuff with them, and I'm glad that so many people came out. So anyway, I'm Ryan with Forecast. If you have any questions, you can holler at me and my team. I'll be walking around. Otherwise, yes, please plan ahead, because it's always easier to figure it out before the room is built. So that's it.
Okay, a few questions.
You got a question. Why is it always black? That's a great question. That honestly is the best question.
Behind the mic, we want to get you. Why is it, the question was?
Hi, Jim. Why is the console always black? Black is my favorite color. Although I am wearing the red pants today. No, all kidding aside, right? So in all seriousness, a lot of this is in dark environments, and I'll give you the reason why it is always black. Nashville Predators had I kid you not, their GC's brother, when they built Bridgestone Arena, the GC's brother, this is a joke, I don't actually know if this is true, owned a granite business. So there's granite throughout this whole space. They literally built the control room out of white granite countertops. We built all the subtops and the switcher wedges and all the cut-ins and stuff, and they literally had this guy come in and do the shiniest crystal white countertops in a control room that they were going to kill the lights on and do games out of there. The glare was insane. Like, you literally would be you sit up in the back row and you're getting like blasted in the eyeballs with whatever was on the screens, which in a sports control room was a lot of color and fast moving graphics. So the blacks and the darker colors do honestly come from operator comfort. It's funny, I was actually a friend of mine was able to give me a tour of a really cool studio out here that I'd wanted to see for a long time. And we were talking about redoing some of his in theater, right, where they do screening rooms of new movies and stuff. And we were talking about colors and how does it fit in, because there's some wood grains and tying in. And I was like, honestly, we designed two types of desks, right? There's the desk that is the showpiece, right? So NFL control rooms. How do you make this the loudest, biggest, most vibrant thing possible, right? Because you're going to tour through box seat holders and potential investors, and you want it to be pop and like, something to talk about. But most of the time, if we've done our job, it looks like we've done nothing at all. My goal is to hide your cables and to make the furniture just disappear. It should be a comfortable thing to sit at, and there should be no clutter and no mess, and just have it clean and disappear into the background so that the operators can focus on what's important to them, which is honestly what's on the screens and what's in front of them that they're touching. But the good news is we offer many colors other than black. We have very dark blues. We have very dark grays. Sorry, there's another question. So it's funny so traceless, you asked about traceless laminate. So there is, traceless laminate is a Wilson Art specific product, but lots of the manufacturers make it. The real reason is, I don't know why it's so expensive. It's because it's a fancy technology that's supposed to take less fingerprints, but as we know, that's not totally true. Clean your surfaces and then you don't have to spend extra money. But no, all kidding aside, that black, the traceless black, we actually do use that in a lot of like color rooms. And the reason is because the traceless black from Wilson Art has a light reflective value of like single digits. I think it's a 5 or a 6. And that's on a scale of 100. Most laminates, even in blacks, are in the teens, and then colors start to go up from there. But the idea is that it is as matte black as you can get it, so you have the least amount of reflection. So yes, it's marketing fanciness is why it's expensive, but the reason we would even recommend spending the money on it is the light reflective value being as low as it is. But yeah, again, it all really goes down to what are you trying to accomplish with the space? And I think that's the kind of the message here, is have those conversations, not just with your integrators, not just with your in-house people, but also with other furniture vendors, because they may see things, right? We do hundreds of projects a year. We learn from different projects. We learn kind of and honestly, you learn from what's a pain in the ass, like keyboard trays. Everyone hates them because all you do is bang your knees into them and knock stuff off. So yeah, there's plenty of examples to learn from those things.